and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twin Flame Union. And in this channeling session, I would be talking about a message that there is a shift in empathy and there is also a shift in practicality. So, the Divine Masculine has learned one or two more things about empathy, and the Divine Feminine has learned one or two more things about being logical and being practical in the three-dimensional matrix world. So, let's get started. So, what happens is that the Divine Masculines lack empathy. They don't have that emotion in them which creates empathy or which makes you feel empathetic towards another person's emotion or feelings or what they are going through. Most of the Divine Feminines who have gone through abuse and traumatic experience, when they meet the Divine Masculine, they cannot immediately commit to them or they cannot immediately trust them. A good amount of time is taken by the Divine Feminine before she realizes that she is in love with him, or love was always there, but she's not willing to take that step ahead. She's not able to immediately be like, yes, I love you and you're mine and this and that and all that. The confession of love from the Divine Feminine side does not happen immediately. Also because one or two times she sees some kind of erratic behavior from his side. So she feels that, what is wrong with him? Is he really the one? In some cases, the Divine Feminines have also told the Masculine that in my life, all these events have taken place. All these events have been tackled by me. And because of which, I'm not able to immediately trust a person or immediately go ahead with the person. In some cases, the Divine Feminines are also not in the mood for serious commitment. They want to just have a good time, Like they don't mind knowing a person first. They don't mind friends with benefits, or they don't mind some kind of a casual relationship towards a person they form some kind of liking for or infatuation for. Simply because the reason was that in the past, maybe the false twin relationship or whatever relationship she had in her life, the karmics, all the relationships were very difficult, very hard and very toxic, and it took her a long time to get out of those relationships. So the residue of those relationships and the wounds were still there. Now in this session, the energy is such that the Divine Feminine had a series of difficult relationships. The difficult relationships always obviously stem from the childhood trauma, the childhood environment of neglect that she was in. She doesn't know it, and a lot of you won't know it. A lot of you won't understand it as of now. You might even see that another person is in trouble or another person is going through something, and you might feel that why are they reacting like this? What is wrong with them? Things like that. But some of the Divine Feminines, even though they have an empathetic nature, but they still don't have complete empathy because their empathy is diluted or mixed with sympathy. Sympathy is a trait, it's a quality that one should not have. You should not sympathize with people, you should only and only empathize with people. She had sympathized with the Masculine even before the Masculine told her that I have this problem or that problem. She just assumed it that, okay, if he has been going through this type of a situation or that type of a situation, or he's saying this to me or he's saying that to me, so she assumes that he might be going through this. And as I said, the residual of the false twin relationship, the toxic relationships also are like that. Now, when the whole separation thing happens, so this is the long separation that I'm talking about. The long separation, when it happened, that kind of changed the Divine Feminine a lot because she realized that whatever she's been doing is really stupid and it doesn't make any sense because she was chasing a ghost. She was chasing an invisible man. In India, we have a very funny movie called Mr. India. So that movie, it's like Hollow Man actually. Hollow Man and Mr. India has the same story, but Hollow Man turns the villain in that movie, and in Mr. India, the person is actually the hero, the main protagonist. So Mr. India is a man who cannot be seen. He's invisible. He can only be heard. So divine masculine is also like that. He is like Mr. India, who cannot be seen visibly. Physically, he is not available anywhere. He's not present. But audio wise, he's always available. Like he's available on the phone. He's available on the messages. He will also do video calls, like virtual visibility is there. So for so many years, she feels she's dating Mr. India, who is only present in his voice. So, so when you date a ghost, you date a person who's Mr. India basically in your life, you realize for how long, am I going to do this? The worst thing happens when the Mr. India's audio also vanishes. Earlier there was at least audio and he would appear here and there, like how the ghost appear. They will appear once you see them, one flash, then another flash, then they'll throw something. They'll basically remind you of their presence, that I am around, that I am here in your world. Don't forget about me, because I love you the most. But I am so in such a situation. There's so many problems with me. He has not mentioned any problem. It is her sympathetic nature that has attached herself to him with his image, because she already has an image in her mind of how the twin flame or the lover boy or the husband or whosoever is going to be like. She already has that image. When the person enters into that image, he or she may not be like that image, but the image is so solid. So, and we also say that, if you have strong belief system, your beliefs create your reality. But your beliefs or her beliefs are not real, because there are so many lacks and limitations also that she's ruled by. So he fits in many places, but he still doesn't fit in because he's never there. There is no action that he's taking for her. There is no effort that he's making for her. Okay. This realization becomes very clear to her during the longest separation, or a long separation that happens. In some cases, the separation may not be that long, but the impact would be very strong on the feminine, because she would actually learn everything, or by the grace of God, or her destiny is such, or maybe she faced so many problems, not just in one area of life. Maybe there are 10 areas of life. Those of you who have longer separations or longer false twin marriages or relationships, you probably have one or two areas where you are supposed to work. But those feminines who have more areas, they will go through pain in other areas also. Like they could be born in extreme poverty, or they could be born very rich but get into extreme poverty, or immense amount of sexual abuse, or even physical abuse, like the parents are constantly beating up the child every day. Every second day the child is getting beaten up. Then there is bullying. Then maybe the child has also encountered some really mean and nasty teachers, abusive teachers also. So there is no peace. Like there are no friends, there are no teachers, there are no parents, there are nothing. There is nothing, but everyone is there. But the love factor or the emotional factor or the human factor is missing. So because of all of these problems, and if she has not healed herself, instead of empathizing with people, you only empathize with people when people tell you something. Like when somebody is going through a difficult situation and they deem you fit, or they think that you are the right person with whom they can share their troubles with. An empathetic person would be patient enough to listen to that person. But a sympathetic person may not even listen to anything, but still assume that another person is pain and start extending support to them. So guys, being over emotional is also not good. Being oversensitive is also not good. Being very needy is not good. But she also understands that all of these problems, like being needy, being sensitive, being in pain, being emotional, all of this is happening in her life because of whatever she has faced. And this is the reason why we recommend you to go to a good therapist, a therapist who has knowledge about most areas of life, not just one or two, or therapists who have found a way to connect with the source, to do the source integration. Because sooner or later, this is the only thing that will help you, which you will realize in time, that no human being can really support you. It's only source who can support you. It's only your masters who can support you. And with the masters, you can talk about anything and everything, and you can talk for hours. You can cry to them for hours. You can it will literally feel like you're in their lap. You have kept your head in their lap, and they are just, while you're crying or while you're weeping or while you're talking to them about your frustrations, about your pain. You know how a mother, she keeps her hand, on the kid's body, and she waves the hand all over. She relaxes the child. She soothes the child. She doesn't say what is right or what is wrong, but she just soothes. She chooses to soothe the child and, remove all the negative energy with that hand gesture. If you ask a neglected child, abandoned child, what does it want the most? The child would say, I just want to put my head on my mother's lap or my father's lap, and I just want to talk to them. I just want to share with them. Sharing is beautiful. Sharing is caring. That's why they say sharing is caring. That's why we people exist, we therapists exist, because we want you to share everything with us that other people may not listen. But even we are doing it professionally, I would say. But when you sit with your masters and when you sit with the source, they will love you unconditionally because they'll listen to you. And after talking to them, after sharing with them, you will feel so relaxed. You will feel like all the burden has been taken over by them. You are the mother, you are the father, you are my friend. You are all that I need, that type of feeling. In Hindi, we have a very beautiful prayer. Tumhi ho mata, pita tumhi ho bandhu sakha tumhi ho. It means that you are everything in a literal way. Now, in the inner work journey, it's not always easy. It's not easy. Inner work is a lifestyle. I've said that before also. Something or the other will keep happening, till the time Ram and Sita were alive on this planet, even till the last day they were facing certain things, they were facing some kind of challenges. Be it Radha or Krishna, be it Shiva or Sati, Shiv Shakti. That is why we have so many Puranas, because the Puranas are full of their stories and how they struggled and what all they faced, the challenges. The challenges will never end. That is why eventually, the ultimate thing that you do is you let everything go and you become the observer. You're no more the doer. So observer in Hindi or Pali language, we would say drashta. Drashtata bhav. Drashta bhav. And when you are a doer, then that's the time you suffer because you have that bhokta bhav. Bhav means emotion, feeling. And bhokta means when you are going through something, and when you are doing, living your life from that perspective, going through something, struggling with something, or basically doing something. Because the moment you say, I am doing something, you take control in your hands. Now, I keep talking about control a lot because the divine masculines believe in control. They think that love equals to control. If I can control her, that means I love her. If she will get dominated by me, it means she loves me. No matter what I say to her when I'm angry, when I go back to her, she should accept me. She should not even bring it up or think about it. Because I have the right to get angry, but she should not get angry. So there is a time when the divine feminine cannot stop crying over this person. She cannot. She just cannot stop feeling bad. She just cannot stop crying. She feels this very dark feeling, very heavy feeling in her chest constantly for days when the long dark night of the soul happens. The long dark night of the soul is like you're completely in the miserable state. You don't want to eat anything. You lose a lot of weight. You look very pale. You don't look healthy. Anybody who meets you tells you the same thing. Hey, why do you look like this? Are you okay? The whole emotion feels like, if you want to put a label on it, that it feels like death of love. And love equals to life. So when you go through death of love, the life in you becomes very weak and very faded out, you feel like there is nothing left to do. There's so much pain. There's so much suffering. There is a big, huge sense of loss or a huge sense of betrayal, helplessness. All those feelings, they're, clubbed in together. So the interesting part is, the fun part is, I know you might think, what is fun in this? Come on, Sunamoon. Why do you keep giving these type of hopes? I'm giving you these type of hopes because I'm on the other side, and only when you have to swim through all of that huge ocean of, misery and tears and trying to understand, trying to figure things out, and then when you wade through slowly and gradually, first you are just wading and then you get a life jacket, you also level up. Just the way the miseries are leveling up or the challenges are leveling up, you are also gonna level up, and then you'll reach one point, you'll reach a place where you and your misery will become friends with each other. You and your misery will start hanging out with each other. You guys will go on date together. You're gonna love the company of the misery so much, because you'll realize that this misery only made me this person that I am today. So, dear misery, please come to me, let's hang out together. And the misery also, or the problem also, starts thinking, she or he, they start getting scared of this person. They are like, when the problems also get scared of a person, imagine, they don't want to go to that person, because they'll be like, all the mean people, they used to trouble the divine feminine at one point in time. They used to really trouble her because she was the source of energy. She would react so much, she would get offended, she would cry, she would do all those things. Now, they don't want to go to her address, they don't want to go to her house or wherever she is, because they are scared of her, that if we go to her, the way she will react or the way she will respond to us, that will be really crazy. That will be too much. We cannot handle it. So when the problem is scared of giving problems to others, so you can imagine, that is what the long separation does to people. So that's why I also tell you all that there's nothing wrong in long separation. Yes, when you're into it, it feels really hard and difficult. But I remember some of the people who were in long-term separation, they contacted me for a reading, and they were totally not expecting that the divine masculine can contact them or call them or message them, or they could get into communication with them. They were just not sure about it. So after all the independence the divine feminine gains during the long separation, or around that time when she surrenders, she realizes that she doesn't need the divine masculine at all, or that he was never really around. So if he really wants to be around her, if he really wants that place in her life, then he better be worthy of it. He better be a type of person who can hold that position in her life. Especially if her life is mission oriented, then she would need someone, and again, need is the wrong word. It would be better to have someone who is in alignment with the mission work or with the roles, or whatever there is a need of a team or cheerleaders or support system or whatever it is. For the divine feminine, this whole journey is designed in such a way that she creates her inner support system, and she does not have to rely on anybody, anybody, especially those people who cannot show empathy to her. Now, I'll tell you how is empathy created and how the divine masculines learn about empathy. So they have been raised in such a way that they do not have empathy. And empathy is a emotion, it's a trait that is only created in a person when they go through certain things. So for example, if you have not gone through a certain experience, you will not have empathy towards another person who's going to try to tell you. You might say that, I don't even believe that this is happening to you. I don't even believe that this is real. I cannot even fathom it. I cannot even understand it. Whatever your pain is or whatever that it is that you're going through. So, how does the divine masculine learn this? Because when the divine feminine probably tells him that I'm getting abused, or I got abused as a child, so I'm not very comfortable trusting a man, or I'm doing this or I'm doing that, so I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Or maybe, say for example, she has a financial problem going on. Like most of the divine feminines, they have financial issues, and most of the divine masculines are financially sound. So he says, hey, let's take a trip to say Goa. Let's take a trip to Goa. That's in my mind, so I'm using Goa. Or if you're in any other country, then let's take a trip to Las Vegas, for example. Now, she doesn't have any money, so from her perspective, and she cannot even say this to him directly, so she says that, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot go to Goa or Las Vegas or wherever you are saying. Now, he's gonna think 100 things about it, like, okay, maybe she doesn't love me, maybe she doesn't like me enough, maybe she has found another man, or maybe she's just arrogant, or whatever XYZ, but it will not even strike his thoughts, his imagination, his mind, that she could have maybe financial problem, because he's never experienced financial problem. If he wanted something from the market, he would just tell his family members, his mother, father, and they would bring it to him. If he needed a fancy car, they will give it to him. If he needs an iPhone, they'll give it to him. If he needs a MacBook, they'll give it to him. But with the divine feminine, that is not the scenario. It is the opposite scenario for her, in fact. For everything that she wants in life, she has to work really hard for it. If she wants a laptop, she has to work for it. If she wants to buy a new phone, she has to work for it. If she wants to buy an expensive dress, she has to slog her ass for it. You know? And she cannot take shortcuts, because moralistically they are created like that. Otherwise, there are so many girls who have sugar daddies, or there are so many girls, who can just, pass one wink or a smile or make a phone call. They'll never even date a man who's financially not sound. They'll only date men who can be the best providers, and they don't need even emotional providing, because even those girls, they don't have that emotional connect. They just want the money or the bling or the gifts or the houses or whatever. So they take that, and for that they don't even need to date a good looking man. Because they good looking or attractive. Physical attraction does not give them orgasm. The cash gives them orgasm. So from the divine masculine's world, who's only surrounded by people who are wealthy and opulent, and they only cancel plans because of, some XYZ situation, but it is definitely not money. And in her case, it is money. So when the long separation happens, for example, before the long separation, she had put a condition that, if you want to be with me, then you better have your own business, or you better make your own money. Or if they decided that we live like this, she would say that, look, I cannot afford to live like this, but we can afford to live simply. Or she says that, look, I cannot be in a position where you're taking money from your parents, because if you will keep taking money from your parents, they will control you. There will be fights, there will be this, there will be that. So again, I'm talking about this situation, guys, and only those of you will resonate with it who have gone through it, because you will have that required amount of empathy towards this subject, So that's why I'm saying that how will the divine masculine gain empathy is when he goes through those situations in the 3D world, in the matrix reality, without her and with another person maybe, or with his own self also, if it is not a karmic relationship but just a karmic template. When he has to earn his own money, when he has to slog for it for the first time in his life, he would consider these things, because those words were said by her to him. Maybe they had a fight, and she said to him that, what, you can't even do this because you take money from your family, but I have worked my whole life. I have made every single penny on my own. Maybe she has an old car, or maybe she has, a cheap car or something like that, a regular car. And this is an example I'm giving from my own experience, in fact, to be honest. Maybe she has a regular car, and the masculine has really fancy cars. And he would mock her that, oh, you drive this cheap car. So when this argument or when these fights happen, and she says to him that, whatever I've earned or whatever I have, be it a cheap car in front of in your mind, it's a cheap car, and you have all the fancy cars of the world. At least I bought it with my own money. I slogged myself day and night. I did not take any shortcuts. I did not take it from a boyfriend. I did not take it from some sugar daddy. If my own daddy has not given it to me, then forget about sugar daddy. Maybe it is all God's blessing, and she feels very proud about it. So all those people who have gone through similar situations, talks about money, triggers about sexuality, triggers about this and that, please comment about it so that other people can also, understand and get that type of emotional support, because we are all here to support one another, because we have that empathy within us. So these words that are thrown at him, and when she is confident, like there is a time when she's not confident, she's not confident at all. Say for example, he mocks her, oh, you don't even wear a branded this or that, maybe say a branded watch. These are all examples. Some of them are hypothetical and some of them are genuine examples. The hypothetical ones are also being framed out of the experiences that I have heard from other people. So I'm just sharing it here because this is what the guidance I'm getting, that in this channeling I must talk about all these things. How this empathy gets developed in the divine masculine, which is not there, which is totally absent. So he says to her, now one conversation happens before she is not that confident and the inner work hasn't been done properly. But the other conversations, the powerful conversations, the empowered conversations happen after she has done her inner work, after maybe he comes back to her and they talk about certain things and he starts blaming her again, and then she's like, okay, now you listen to me, you'll shut up and listen to me and I will talk, okay? Stop blaming me. I will tell you, you are born with a golden spoon. You have this, you had that, you had this, you had that, but I did not have any of that. I had to work hard. I had to understand things. So this is my issue with you. You don't respect my life or my struggles or the abuses or the traumas I have been through. So these things trigger another level of emotion in him, and this time it is not the emotion of oh, she's so dumb or stupid, but this time he kind of feels very awakened with it and he realizes that I never even knew that she had all these in her mind or heart. But again, these conversations cannot be forced on the masculine. So if you listen to this channeling and you suddenly start sending him all the long paragraphs and messages, because you heard it in the channeling, no, that is not the time. The time will only be right when he comes to you and wants to talk to you about these things. And for any reason, if he does not come to you to talk about all of these things, the matters that are close to your heart, then somebody else will do it. But it will be done to you. The conversation will happen. Nevertheless, she tells him these things and she tells him very clearly that these are my conditions and I do not want a man who is dependent on his mother or his father or the family business for money or for this or for that. I want a man who's independent, who can take care of me even if I don't work. Or maybe, he asked her to give him some money, or, there was money matter. Money matter was a big matter. So he doesn't have empathy in that area, but he will. How will he have empathy? Either he will have it via the karmic partner, because the karmic partner is supposed to show them stars in the daylight. When she will torture him, when she will embarrass him, when she will make him feel like a servant, she'll make him feel like she throws pennies at him, dollars and pennies at him and makes him do things. When he will go through those obligations which he doesn't want to. Maybe she has signed some kind of a legal contract with him, which he cannot get out of. And to get out of it, he needs huge sum of money. Now he doesn't have the money, he feels trapped. When he is trapped, then he will step out and he will do some work and he'll try to figure out something. That's the time he will think about the divine feminine. He will think about whatever she was telling me. That was pure gold. It was for my good. And today, if I would have not taken the easy path and not escaped or not ran away and literally taken her advice as a real advice, as a good advice, then I won't have suffered so much for so many years and I won't have been in this trap today. So this is what the divine masculine thinks on the other side when he is trapped or when he's stuck. That's the time he thinks about her and he sees her in a positive light, that okay, if she said this to me 6 years back or 7 years back or 5 years back, then definitely she was much more mature at that point only, and I was the immature one. I called her the immature person, the fool, but I was the one who was the fool. So that will create empathy in him. Then he will realize that it's not easy to earn money. He will realize that it's so difficult to establish a business on your own without any external support or family support. Or it is so difficult to be a good provider. you know. And on top of that, he will learn it is more difficult to find a woman who's not materialistic. So she was asking me to stand on my feet, or she was asking me to be independent, because I was not able to take a single decision on my own. In a way, she was trying to tell me to be free from all these baggages. And at the same time, whether you earn less or more doesn't matter. But even in less, at least you will have your life in your own control. Other people are not going to control your life. So this, because she has gone through so much control, so much narcissistic control and abuse, she understands a thing or two about control. On the other side, even she's gonna learn that she's too emotional, she was too needy, she was trying to give advice when it was not even needed. What was the point of giving advice when you don't even know what the other person is going through? She also lacked that logic and practicality, getting too excited in the name of love, getting too jumpy. Any promise that is made, it would be seen as he made a promise to me, that believe in the Mr. India love. That there is no man, but he's still there, so I'll believe his audio, if not his physical presence. So she learns these things, and on the other side, he learns about empathy. He'll also go through various degrees of abuse, and sexual abuse will be a part of it, but how he will understand sexual abuse is a very different thing. So I'm going to end this part over here because I don't want too much information right away. I will come back in part 2, and I will talk about how he gets sexually abused. Despite being in a relationship, despite being with a partner, he'll get sexually abused. And then he will understand what the feminine felt, or she must have felt, when she was forced to participate in a sexual activity or an act which she wasn't even aware about. What's the guilt in that? What's the shame in that? And that will, raise the empathy factor in him. And on the other side, she's already obviously learned how to be more practical, more pragmatic, and more real. Real people don't live in illusions and delusions. She'll start living in real things. So on that note, I'm going to end this part, and I will come back and meet you in part 2. Till then, keep smiling and keep ascending. One love and peace out.